I feel the weight of the air around you tonight. While silence dominates the world outside, I hear the deafening noise of your thoughts and the mute cry of your spirit. Your soul has sought refuge, searching for relief from a deep pain that absolutely no one else sees. You lie there, toss and turn, and repeatedly wonder why the waters of affliction have overflowed in your life, and I know perfectly well the anguish that steals your rest. I prepared this intimate encounter because I heard the call of your wounded heart. This is a message of love and truth, delivered directly to your heart tonight. Believe me, what your mind cannot decipher now, and what seems to make no sense at all, carries an unwavering purpose. This channel brings reflections based and grounded in the Word of God and the principles of the Holy Bible for your spiritual strengthening and growth. But tell me, how long will you try to carry this immense burden, as if you were walking forgotten and alone? There is a mystery kept in the Scriptures for those who cross the valley of uncertainty, a foundation of peace that sustained my prophets and that will sustain you today. Throughout this time we spend together, I will show you exactly how your current pain is preparing the ground for the greatest blossoming in your story. If this word of mine is already beginning to warm the coldness of your heart and is touching your soul, please leave a comment below with your name, the country, state, and city where you are seeking my presence, and what time it is on your watch. Let your spirit overflow and write in the comments as a true outpouring, Lord my God, I am here. I subscribed because I love you and want to hear you, so that my voice may echo every day in your routine. Subscribe your life to this space. Leave your mark of affection with your like. Activate the bell of celestial notifications, and above all, remain with me until the end. I will give a very clear answer at the end of this journey. A single phrase will be whispered to the heart of whoever remains with me, and whoever writes that phrase will receive prophetic blessings released in faith. The darkness you are going through is not your end. There is a secret in the midst of this darkness that I am about to light up before you, something that will change your perspective on everything you have lost. Before I reveal this mystery to you, tell me, what is the urgent help that your soul silently asks of me? Write in the comments the word that seals our meeting today: hope. I know well the early mornings when the whole house falls asleep, and only you remain awake, fighting against the shadows that insist on surrounding your thoughts. The world outside rests. The lives of other people seem to move forward with a lightness that you feel you have lost, and the silence of your room becomes a heavy echo for the questions that keep screaming in your mind. You cry, and your invisible tears find the darkness without anyone else noticing the storm that devastates your inner self. I feel the deep pain you hold in your chest, that weariness of someone who tries to be strong all the time, and that feeling that prayers seem to be lost in the wind. But I want you to know that none of these pains have gone unnoticed by me. When your strength is completely exhausted, that is precisely when my outstretched arm begins to embrace you. My word recorded in the book of Psalms, chapter 34, verse 18, guarantees that I am near to those who have a broken heart and save those who are crushed in spirit. This promise is not just a distant memory. It is the living reality that is happening to you at this very millisecond. Every time your chest tightens and you think you can't bear another day of uncertainty, I draw near and gather each of your afflictions. This brokenness of yours has been the soil where I am secretly working. There is still a mysterious truth hidden within that same pain, a revelation about why certain things didn't happen as you planned. The answer about the doors that closed has already begun to be drawn in the heavens, and soon you will understand the deliverance that disguised itself as loss. If my invisible comfort is warming your soul on this journey, transform your gratitude into a simple gesture by liking this message. Allow your soul to find a home here, inscribing your life in our space, and send this prayer in video form to someone who also carries a weight they cannot explain. Now that we have touched on your pain, answer me honestly. What is the heaviest burden your heart begs me to lift from your shoulders today? Write your pain in the comments and seal your surrender with our healing word, relief. I see how you look at your own journey and feel that your best years or your greatest joys have been lost in time. Often the feeling that invades your chest is that of being buried under circumstances, forgotten under a heavy earth of frustrations, emotional grief, and dreams that did not come true the way you expected. You feel an invisible coldness, and a spiritual darkness, believing that this long isolation is a punishment or a terrible sign of abandonment. But I need to change your perspective right now, beloved daughter. You were not buried, you were planted. The perfectly wise farmer knows that the seed needs absolute darkness, profound silence, and the weight of the earth upon it for its hard shell to break. In the Gospel of John, chapter 12, verse 24, my word teaches very clearly that if the grain of wheat does not fall to the ground and die, it remains alone. But if it dies, it produces much fruit. The constant pain you are feeling is not the end of your story. It is the painful breaking of that shell. The weary crying and the feeling of absolute fragility are merely inner signs that very deep roots of resilience and intimacy with me, are growing within your character and your faith. I allowed this time of seclusion and tears not to destroy you, but to protect the new life that will sprout and that the world outside is not yet ready to see. However, there is an inner movement you need to make so that this seed finally reaches the sunlight, a spiritual attitude that will release the weight that still binds your mind. Further on, I will show you the sacred key to breaking this cycle of pain and blossoming. If you can feel the earth being prepared around you and the warmth of my care watering your faith at this very moment, leave a like as a sign that you accept my time. Enroll your heart in this continuous shelter and share this living prayer with that soul that also cries in the dark, believing it has been forgotten by heaven. Tell me with all the sincerity of your soul, what do you feel needs to die within your life so that my newness can finally be born? Respond to my touch now and write in the comments our word of spiritual renewal. Seed. I know that the night of your soul has been long, and many times you felt that the strength to continue was coming to an end. But your faith has been the light that keeps this work alive, reaching other daughters who also cry in the absolute silence of the early morning. If it is possible for you, and only if it is truly possible, transform your immense gratitude into a seed of love for this channel. Consider my unfathomable love and the love of my son Jesus, and support this purpose using the link in the description of this video and in the pinned comment. There you will find the safe place where your contribution of affection can be deposited and consecrated directly before the Creator of all things. You can support with any amount. And always remember, give only what fits peacefully in your heart. I receive with infinite love. It doesn't matter the amount you offer. What truly has celestial weight is the heart with which you give, because what is little for you may be the sustenance and exact provision for the one who receives. Whoever contributes any amount with a sincere heart, don't forget to leave your name and city along with your contribution. For on the first day of the following month, in a unique and very special video on our Divine Love, the Voice of God channel, your name will be remembered and mentioned in the form of a profound prayer of gratitude before the heavens. For it is written, "Now he who supplies seed to the sower and bread for food will also supply and increase your store of seed and will enlarge the harvest of your righteousness," as recorded in the second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 9, verse 10. Every offering made in faith amidst your own trial is a living seed before me, your Lord, and I will not fail to bring forth any of them in perfect time. I perfectly see your intention and your sacrifice in secret, and I reward you in the sight of all. Remain until the end of this message, because I still want to touch your heart with my voice. The true purpose behind everything you haven't understood until now is about to be woven together before your eyes. I contemplate the tangle of memories and pains that occupy your mind at this very moment. You look back and see loose threads in your history, relationships that broke without explanation, dreams that were abruptly interrupted, and waits that seem endless. From your weary human perspective, life seems like a canvas turned inside out, full of confusing knots, loose ends, and very dark colors that seemingly form no image at all. The weight of this confusion tries to convince your heart that everything was in vain and that your days are being wasted in a cycle of endless sadness. But I need you to silence those voices and change your perspective to look through my eyes. In the letter to the Romans, chapter 8, verse 28, I recorded for eternity that all things work together for good to those who love me. Absolutely all things. including the bitter tears you shed in secret, the sleepless nights staring into the void, and the disappointments that tore at your heart. I am the great weaver of time, and I am using every dark thread of your deep pain to contrast with the marvelous work I am creating for your future. Without the darkness of these difficult moments, the splendid brilliance of the purpose I have outlined for your life would not have the same transformative impact. Little by little, I am beginning to turn this tapestry so that you can see the complete picture. The threads that bring agony today will soon make sense in a way that will completely renew your hope. But so that your soul may endure the process and not undo the knots before the work is revealed, I have prepared constant support, a very specific daily care that I will deliver into your hands shortly. If the profound truth that your pain carries a perfect purpose is calming the storm of your soul, leave your like as a seal of trust in my wisdom. Subscribe your life to this channel, making this place a continuous safe haven for your spirit. And share this message of love with someone who also needs to understand that their own story is not a mistake or an accident. Tell me here, in the silence of your faith and with all sincerity, what area of your life do you need me to organize the threads and bring peace to today? Seal your answer by writing in the comments the word of our covenant at this moment: work. In the midst of these nights when hope seems to slip through your fingers, I know you feel an immense need to be remembered, embraced and supported, not only during the storms, but with each new dawn. You yearn for a companion who understands your silent pains, who holds your hand through the chronic weariness of your soul, and who tells you daily that you are not fighting alone. If your heart desires to go deeper with me, immersing itself in the intimacy of daily care that renews your strength, I have left you a gift in the form of a journey that I wrote with much love and deep affection for all my beloved daughters and sons. The digital book is called Divine Love Devotional, The Voice of God. It was prepared with divine zeal to be precisely your invisible sustenance during sleepless nights, to accompany you day after day in absolute silence and immense intimacy. Loving access to this constant renewal is also available via the link in this video's description and in the pinned comment. And if today it is not possible for you to take this step, do not condemn yourself in any way. Remain with me here, listen to my whisper, because I will also firmly support you with the rest of this message. For it is written, "The Lord is the one who goes before you. He will be with you. He will not leave you nor forsake you. Do not fear or be dismayed, as it is sealed in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 31, verse 8. And so that your heart may rest in perfect peace and not be confused or afraid at any moment, know that after you complete the simple registration, access to our devotional will arrive directly in the email you registered, with all the correct instructions, with each step designed for you to begin this journey with me in your own time. Feel my presence in the silence of your breath now, because I still have one more promise to make to your heart, and the complete answer you await is on its way. Continue with me, because what comes next is the light that will definitively break through the darkness of your night. I accompany every exhausted sigh that escapes your chest when the dawn seems endless. You have felt the cold of the hours slowly passing, embraced by your own pain, waiting for the darkness to subside. But the long wait has exhausted your strength. The sensation that invades your body is that this night of trials has consumed all the vitality that remained in your soul. But I decree over your life the unshakable foundation that I left, recorded in the book of Psalms, chapter 30, verse 5, where I affirm that weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Bring this undeniable truth to the pain you carry right now. This restrained weeping that wets your face and embitters your throat in the dark has an expiration date strictly determined by me. Dawn is not a mere possibility in your life. It is an immutable law that I myself established. Just as the sun tears through the sky and expels the shadows without asking anyone's permission, my clarity will suddenly invade the areas of your journey that are currently submerged in total darkness. The purpose of what you don't understand will emerge with the same force as the morning light, and every loss will begin to make profound and liberating sense. The answer is on its way. However, there is one last celestial seal to confirm this promise, a final whisper that I have kept to deliver to your spirit now. a definitive truth that will change your stance in the face of any battle. If the first rays of this spiritual dawn are already warming the coldness of your heart, like this as a tight embrace of my promise. Make this channel your dwelling place of peace by subscribing your life here, and share this message as a pure act of spiritual love with someone who still cries, believing that the night will never end. Before receiving my final word, tell me, in the depths of your silence, what do you most desire, my light to illuminate and restore when your morning finally dawns? Surrender your hope by writing in the comments the word of our imminent victory, dawn. We have reached the point where your soul finally finds the rest it has so longed for. Remember that in the moment we meet today amidst your profound weariness, I promised you that everything you didn't understand would have a clear purpose. What seemed like absence was, in truth, protection. What you called darkness was the secret room where I was forging your resilience and shielding your faith. None of your tears were in vain, and every pain your heart endured watered the root of the resilience that is now beginning to sprout and show itself strong. I heard your silent cry in the lonely early mornings and felt the weight that threatened to break your hope. But, like a father who holds the face of his beloved daughter with immense sweetness and authority, I assure you that your night of mourning was not your end. It was only your preparation. You are ready for my new time. And to confirm this transformation in your life, fulfilling the promise I made at the very beginning of our meeting, I now deliver the definitive answer to your heart. Receive into the deepest part of your spirit the celestial key that seals your victory from this day forward. I can do all things through him who strengthens me. Write this exact powerful phrase in the comments right now as an absolute act of faith, of total surrender, and as your audible response to heaven. By typing or proclaiming these words, you declare that my perfect love sustains and empowers every step you take. However, our daily communion is only taking root. My love for you is an inexhaustible ocean, and I still have very profound revelations about your restoration that I need to show you. There is much more about your destiny that I want to share with your spirit. Therefore, continue seeking my presence in the playlist on our channel. Stay in my shelter. Allow my voice to continue being your daily guide, because I will still walk beside you through the coming waters. Your long night of pain is over. The light of your purpose has already dawned. Lift your face and walk in peace.